Infamous is bad ass. A totally unexpected kick-ass game. Taking a break from the regular raccoon platforming, Sucker Punch has given us Infamous. If Grand Theft Auto 4 is a living and breathing city as every review ever enjoyed labeling it, then this game is just one big chaotic war zone in a city. There's side missions, story missions, and a ton of crap to collect. It all works so well too. About half the people that talk about Grand Theft Auto love to say how they don't care about the story missions. It's all about stealing cars and shooting hookers. I suppose on one hand that's quite a positive thing to say about GTA. It's simply fun to exist within the city. On the other hand though, if the story missions aren't fun, what the hell? That series is treading a little too far into the deep end as well with the dating, minigame BS, and cousin dick sucking. Infamous reels it in a little more, makes the game feel a little more video gamey by cutting out the busy crap, and is fun as hell to both traverse the city as well as take on the story missions. Between story missions, even if you aren't an OCD gamer, you'll be tempted to finish off a few side missions and scale some large ass buildings to find treasure just because it's fun to do. But then you'll also want to get back into the mix right away, into the story, because that's where the nice and long and very exciting missions are, and it's also where the creative juices really start to flow from the developers. It is a perfect balance. Infamous appeals to the action-oriented crowd. You move around more quickly. It doesn't take a year just to get from one side of the map to the other. Buildings are tall as hell, but then you can scale them rather quickly. It truly feels like you own this garbage dump of a city, which has been designed quite brilliantly. There's also a range in how you can play. Do you do the side missions or not? When traversing across the map, do you have it out with the enemies in the middle of the street as you simply run to your destination, or do you attempt to ninja your way over by hopping between rooftops? A sniper is aiming at you from one building over. Do you attempt to snipe it back, or do you fly your ass over and take him out melee style? The pacing and progression of gaining new abilities is spectacular as well, as each new power you gain is significant and offers varying new styles of play in order to cope with the latest and most deadly foes you must face. So if I didn't mention it clearly enough, the graphics are top notch. The music is low-key but gets the job done. Story sequences are interesting enough to keep you wondering what will happen next, although not so intrusive that you get pissed off by it. Ally characters like to call you on your cell phone, but you don't stop in the middle of your tracks. No, you can continue scaling buildings and kicking random enemy ass while they clue you in on what to do next. It's so nice. The characterization is great as far as video games are concerned, and you'll be kept guessing as to just who's truly on what side. Also, the city is living and breathing just as much as it needs to be. You aren't buying hot dogs at the corner stand to replenish your health, and thank goodness, because there's no worthless downtime in the action for crap like that. Infamous is scoring 8 through 10s just about everywhere. What are the complaints? Well, most prominently, there's this good and evil system. Mindlessly kill pedestrians, the meter heads toward the red. Save them, and it goes toward the blue. There's also a few segments where it is thrown directly into your face as the character delivers a slightly embarrassing monologue. You know, I could either cut this guy from the rope and save his ass, or I could just continue on with this goddamn game and save myself 5 seconds. Is there really a benefit to being evil? No, not really. Despite obtaining slightly different powers and having a different ending, the gameplay doesn't change that much. In terms of a video game, I really don't give a shit because I don't care if the alternative story branch is that different, because it's not like we even needed it in the first place to have a great game. But if you're going to nitpick ideals, I suppose I could see how some might have a problem with it. Second problem, some people might think it's repetitious. Sort of, but not really. Encounters do require a variety of strategies, and by the end of the game, with the new powers you acquire, you're pretty much playing a completely different game from when you first started. The enemies maintain a challenge throughout the entire game and never really become a complete pushover. Your main gunning attack is always the electricity bolt, and in the end this isn't Resistance with a ton of different guns, but you know what, I was still always having fun, and I never became bored. I had so much fun playing this game, except for the obvious answer of more. There's nothing significant that I would want to change about it. I've played through the story and I'm still motivated to dive back in and finish up some side missions and eventually replay through the game on the evil storyline, even if it will make me feel like a jackass. Infamous was the kind of game for me where if I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about it, and that is the mark of a truly successful game. I did not expect this at all, and I am truly impressed. Infamous for the PlayStation 3 receives a 10 out of 10.